Hello, everyone, and welcome to the live stream session today. And I hope you all are doing well. And before we begin, let me tell you what actually you tell me. Where are you guys watching from? So that I know that which country I am having people from. And I'd love to know where everybody is joining from today. And while you are typing that, let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen a restaurant open of, with huge excitement, beautiful decorations, a lot of advertising, a crowded opening day, and then somehow within a year it closes down? If you have seen that happen, type yes in the chat. And I think almost everyone who has spent time around the restaurant industry has seen that happen often now and then. And the interesting thing is that when a restaurant closes, people immediately start guessing why. Some say the food wasn't good, some say the prices were too high, some say there wasn't enough parking, some blame the staff, some blame the economy. But what I have learned over the years is that restaurants' failure is usually much more complicated than that. Restaurants rarely fail because of one single reason. Most restaurants fail because, a combination of mistakes. And those mistakes often start long and long and long before the restaurant even open its doors for public. So, in today's live session, I'll try to address those mistakes. Whether you are a restaurant owner, a hospitality student, a supervisor, a manager, or simply someone interested in business. And I think you'll find today's discussion very valuable. So let's get started. So it's the dream versus the reality. This is what I call it. When you are about to open a restaurant or you think about a concept, you it's normally a dream, and then you work out, and then you make that dream into a reality. You turn it into a reality. And many people dream about opening a restaurant, and that is something very common nowadays. Food businesses are growing. Every single person wants to open up a restaurant, and maybe they have loved cooking. Maybe family and friends compliment their food. You never know. Maybe they have worked in hospitality for years. Maybe they simply love the atmosphere of restaurants. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with that dream. Restaurants can be a wonderful business. They bring people together, they create memories. Like, for example, you have a birthday, you have an occasion to celebrate, um, anything. What is your first choice? It is always going to a restaurant, to go out, dine out, have food, do something about it, make create a surprise for somebody. So it is always restaurant, and they create memories. Then they create jobs. They become the part of communities. But here's the reality: loving food and running a restaurant are two completely different things. Cooking is a skill, running a business is a skill too, but unfortunately, many people assume one automatically means that, sorry, so one automatically means that the other is useless, you know. So it doesn't. I mean, it is not useless. I have met fantastic chefs who struggled as business owners. I have met average cooks who built very successful restaurant businesses just because they understood management. And that's an important distinction. Reason number one is lack of proper planning. Many restaurant owners spend months planning the menu. They spend months selecting furniture. They spend months choosing colors, decoration, lighting, equipment. But surprisingly, they spend very little time planning the business itself. So, let me ask everyone watching, if you were opening a restaurant tomorrow, what would be the first thing you would plan? Would it be the menu, the kitchen, the location, the concept? Don't forget to type your answer in the chat. The reality is that a restaurant needs a complete business plan. And I have never met anybody coming to me with a business plan for a restaurant except one person. So, a business plan. What are the expected sales? What are the operating costs? How much money is needed to survive the first year? How many customers must visit each day? What happens if sales are lower than expected? Without answers to these questions, owners are essentially just guessing. And guessing is dangerous in business. A restaurant should be built on calculations and not assumptions. Reason number two is understanding the competition. This is something many new operators ignore. They think my food is better, my service will be better, my restaurant is unique. Well, maybe that's true, but customers already have plenty of choices. A customer may pass 10 restaurants before reaching yours. Think about that. 10 opportunities for them to spend money somewhere else. Competition isn't just about food, it's about convenience, about habits, about reputation, and about trust. Many restaurants underestimate how difficult it is to convince customers to change their routine. If people have been eating at the same restaurant for 5 years, why should they suddenly choose yours? The question needs an answer. And I think so. Many of you listening to this live stream must be doing the same thing, going to the same place every weekend and not changing the environment because you are comfortable there. You want to be there, you know? Now, let's explore the reason number three, running out of money. So, this is probably the most common reason restaurants close: cash flow problems. Most restaurant owners underestimate expenses. Opening costs are usually much higher than expected. There are permits, licenses, equipment, furniture, inventory, marketing, training, utility, unexpected repairs, and dozens of other costs. Then the restaurant opens. Sales are slower than expected. Expenses continue, stress increases, and suddenly cash becomes a major issue. One thing I always tell people is this: never assume your restaurant will be busy immediately. Hope for the best, but plan for the worst. Because people somehow have this thing in their mind that as soon as we are going to open doors, everybody is going to come in, and my restaurant will be a hit. Well, People do come, check out a new place, but that only stands for a month. Then, after a month, you actually get a very brutal reality check. So, plan for the worst. The restaurant that survives are often the ones that prepare for difficult months before they happen. Now, reason number four is poor cost control. And let's talk about this. I know it's something that sounds boring but can determine whether a restaurant survives. Cost control. Many restaurant owners become obsessed with sales. They celebrate revenue, but they ignore costs. Imagine selling 500 meals a day. Sounds impressive, right? But what if they are barely making any profit? Sales alone don't guarantee success. Profit matters. Every ingredient has a cost. Every mistake has a cost. Every wasted product has a cost. Every incorrect order has a cost. And every oversized portion, you're right, has a cost. Restaurants don't usually lose money through one giant mistake, as I have mentioned this in one of my videos. They lose money through hundreds of small mistakes repeated every day. Now let's jump to reason number five, inconsistent food quality. Let's imagine something. You visit a restaurant, the food is amazing, you tell your friends, you post online, you become excited about returning, and a week later, when you come back, the same dish tastes completely different. And now you're confused. A month later, you visit again. This time, it's even worse. What you keep coming back for? Or would you keep coming back? Probably not. Consistency is one of the foundations of a restaurant's success. Customers just want good food, great experience. They want predictable food, the same taste, the same quality, the same experience every visit. That's what creates loyalty. Now let's come to reason number six, that is poor hiring decisions. Restaurants are people businesses. The team matters a lot. Many owners hire quickly because they are desperate, they need staff immediately, so they lower standards. The problem is that poor hiring creates bigger problems later. One negative employee can affect the entire team. One poorly trained employee can damage customer experiences. One careless employee can create operational chaos. Great restaurants understand that recruitment is not just it's not just filling positions. It's building culture. Reason number seven is insufficient training. Let's continue with staffing. Hiring someone isn't enough, training is essential. Just remember this, training is essential for God's sake. Imagine giving someone your car keys without teaching them how to drive. Would that be ridiculous, right? So, this is how restaurants hire employees and immediately put them on the floor. No structured training, no standard, no coaching, no support. Then management becomes frustrated when mistakes happen. Training isn't a luxury, it's an investment. The better your training, the fewer problems you will face. Now, the reason number eight will be weak leadership. Let's talk about leadership, not management leadership. There is a difference. Managers focuses on tasks, leader focus on people. Managers enforce rules, leaders build culture. Managers maintain operations, leaders create vision. The best restaurants usually have strong leaders who inspire their teams. Employees work harder when they feel respected. Employees stay longer when they feel valued. Employees perform better when expectations are clear. Leadership influences everything. So, with this, let's jump to Reason number nine, I think, yeah, eight, nine, ignoring customers' complaints. Let's be honest, nobody enjoys criticism, but criticism can be valuable. Customers often tell restaurants exactly what's wrong: slow service, old food, long waiting times, unfriendly staff, small portions, poor cleanliness. The challenge is listening. Some owners become defensive, not some actually, most of the owners become defensive. Instead of learning, they argue. Instead of improving, they make excuses. Small operators see complaints differently, but the smart operators, they respond. They see opportunities. Every complaint contains information. Every complaint reveals something, and those insights can improve the business. Now, before we move to number 10, let me take a sip of my tea. So, I think the reason number 10 would be poor marketing. Many restaurants believe customers will automatically come. Unfortunately, that's not how business works. People need awareness, people need reminders, people need reasons to visit. Marketing doesn't end after opening day, marketing is ongoing. Social media, videos, community engagement, events, partnerships, customer interactions, all of these matter, especially in today's time. Many customers discover restaurant through online content before they ever visit. That's take that's is the main reason that restaurants fail is it's one of the reasons that restaurants fail is not hiring a proper marketing team to market their product, that is their restaurant. You have to have a marketing budget so that people can see your presence online to create awareness. So, marketing is equally important like every other thing. Now, I think now we are on number 11. Yes, now we are on number 11. I'll give you the 11th reason, that is trying to be everything for everyone. That is a huge mistake. Owners sometimes create joint menus hoping to attract everyone, but trying to serve everyone often means serving nobody particularly well. Successful restaurants usually have a clear identity. They know what they are famous for, they know what customers expect, and they focus relentlessly on delivering it. Focus creates excellence, confusion creates problems. This takes me to reason number 12, ignoring operational systems, and that happens a lot. Now, here's the question for everyone: what happens when the owner isn't present? Can the restaurant still function smoothly? If the answer is no, that's a warning sign. Successful restaurants rely on systems, opening checklists, closing checklists, inventory systems, training systems, cleaning schedules, service standards. Systems create consistency. Without systems, operation becomes chaotic. Reason number 13 is lack of adaptability. Markets change, you see. The trends are changing. Customer preferences change. Technology change. Trends keep on changing every single day. When a restaurant refuses to adapt, often struggle. The best operators constantly learn. They observe customer behavior. They monitor trends. They adjust when necessary. Adaptability isn't weakness, it's survival. What successful restaurants do differently? Now, let's talk about the positive side. What do successful restaurants do differently? Actually, they plan carefully, they control costs, they train employees, they build systems, they listen to the customers without getting offended. They market consistently, they focus on quality, they adapt when necessary. Most importantly, they understand this success doesn't happen overnight. It takes discipline, it takes patience, it takes consistency. Day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. The final discussion with you all before we finish. I want everyone in the chat to participate. Imagine you have enough money to open a restaurant tomorrow. What would be your biggest concern? Finding customers, hiring staff, managing costs, creating a menu, choosing a location? Type your answer in the chat. I genuinely love to hear your thoughts because every restaurant faces challenges. The difference between success and failure is often how those challenges are handled. Thank you all for joining today's live session. I hope you found value in this discussion. Uh, if you enjoyed today's topic, let me know what restaurant or hospitality subject you'd like me to cover in the next live stream. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next session. Take care and goodbye.